Hey guys, Ryan here with your second last material that we are going to be looking at in Blender. It is called the wave texture. This one's quite a cool one, so let's just go straight into this. So the first thing, as we usually have to do, now this is the second last texture that we're going to be looking at. It's the wave texture, and then we're going to be looking into bump mapping, and we're going to continue with all sorts of other, all the cool other things within Blender that maybe you knew about, but you didn't really realize how cool they are. Okay, well, you didn't realize they were there, so you didn't realize how cool Blender really is. So Shift A gets me all my nodes, my different nodes that I can add in here. And of course I go to texture and I look for my wave texture. There it is. Boom, hello wave texture. And I connect color into base color. And of course that is with my cube selected, because whatever you select in your cube is the material that's, well, the nodes that are going to appear here. So these are the nodes that are connected to this the cube over here in my wave port, my viewport, wave port. Well, it is a wave port because it's got the wave texture in the object in the viewport. All right, so let's go to render preview so we can have a look at this wave texture. And there she is. How do you like my wave texture? Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Let's just do that. There you go. That's how I know the wave texture. All right. Now the cool thing about the wave texture, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But let me show you two cool things you can do. Now the wave texture is good for basically, obviously, waves. If you have like this type of pattern on whatever you are. Whatever you're editing or whatever you're creating, whatever shader or whatever texture you're creating. It's also good for maybe you got like, I don't know, like puddles or drops or, hey, even wood. All right. And how do you create the wood? Well, let's look at a couple of the settings here. So the scale is quite an obvious one. I'm not going to go there, but the distortion one is where if I start adding some distortion, I start getting that kind of feel. Looks almost like layers, right? Layers in soil. I mean, can you see how random they are? Pretty cool, huh? Pretty nice. Very, very cool. So that is your waves. Now, if I go from bands and I go to rings. All right, first of all, there's my wood. See how it looks almost like, you know, the center of a wood tree. If you cut it and, you know, you can determine how old the tree is because of the amount of layers. There you go. You got like almost like a wood texture. Play around with a lot of these things, with a lot of the details within here. You'll see what they do, like the scale, my distortion. I can bring it all the way down to what it originally was, and you got drops like that. How cool. All right. Do that, and look what it does. Can you see how it's continuous? How nice is that? Look at that. See what it does? Pretty cool. And obviously then you add in the distortion, and then you almost get that type of feel. All right, so that's how you can see how you can change that to that. Let's just have a look at the detail here. So you can see I can crunch it up, and if you look nicely at the amount of detail that is being added in there versus, I say, no detail, and you get a more sort of finer and linear type of wave. All right, let's say I do add some detail in there. I can even scale up those details. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. All right, detail rough. Can add some roughness to those details. Phase offset, and that of course is where you can now animate this actual texture. All right, so yeah, that's pretty straightforward, pretty cool. There's your wave texture in Blender. All right, and until the next video, we're gonna look at our last texture, but that'll be in the next video. Yeah, check you then.